Yo, 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 yo. I'm going to open it random today. Episode 12. Episode 12 of the show. Welcome up, people. I got some shine going on, so I'm just going to draw my attention to the themed nails that I made. For the
You're a bit Donald Trump today, I have to say.
Settle yourself.
You've got a bit of an orange glow.
It's not my fault. I was born this way. Anyway, we'll just get into the show since I thought this was a place of happiness and safety and trust. But just before I need the Kleenex tissues, we'll just move on. Welcome back, everybody, to the show. This is a learning design competition where you guys are voting for your peers as they take on a brief and go, this is the solution we think is going to solve your problem, Mr. and Mrs. Client. It is running in conjunction with the Learning Conference, an epic learning design conference created by learning designers for learning designers. Tickets are on sale at the moment. Early bird prices are up there. One of the exciting sessions that we have for you viewers at home, eating your popcorn with your little notepad and pen to take notes, is we've got a session with Nyla Spooner on mentoring. What's really cool about this one is we get thrown into the deep end as learning designers. You're like, WTF. But she wants to talk about like how diverse experiences and backgrounds help you see problems and solutions in a new light. This is a panel discussion, so you'll be able to actually directly interact with Nyla on the panel and go, this is my case. I need help with my career and mentorship. What should I do? So it's very contextualized learning to your journey. Just another epic session at the Learning Conference. But come on, Kath, are you excited? Tell me. I've just been hogging the first whatever minutes of the show. I'll let you say something before we get into it fully. Too late. Moving on into the show. No.
Do you know what? I've actually realised reviewing the show, I speak very slow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You should put my feet up 10%. Emily Cohen would be so proud.
If you just put her on double speed, then feel like
I actually sound normal. Oh, too funny. Yeah. Well, thank you for letting me speak, Kim. I'm really happy to be here. The sessions are awesome. Let's get into the show.
Yes. Today's special guest on episode 12 is Toddy Boy. I don't know if I can call him that, but he's laughing and smiling, so we'll go with it. He is the product owner of Chameleon Creator. This is a flashy development tool, so simple to use, intuitive. I reckon it's created from a design perspective, like you've got some graphic designers coming into life with this, not some tech nerds that are there behind the code. But welcome to the show, Todd. You can say something about Chameleon Creator, which is a great little development tool for e-learning people around the world.
Shucks, thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm product owner of Chameleon Creator. I'm pretty chuffed you said it's, introducing us to more of a visual design world, which is great. That's kind of the goal. Yeah, our design principles are kind of pretty straightforward. It's keep it simple, speed up the process and make it beautiful. So, geez, it's like an infomercial. Sorry about that. But no, thanks for having me.
Only $9.95 a month. Get your steak knives. No, it is visually beautiful. Kath, you've had a play in it. What were you thinking? We're experimenting with it.
Yeah, so Todd, is it built on the ADAPT framework or it's similar?
No, it's purely bespoke. It's kind of a nice hybrid between Facebook React and our bespoke Ruby on Rails framework. Yeah, it's all our own DNA, which is quite cool.
Yeah, it is very nice. The back end is really nice to kind of work out with regards to page layouts, and I found it really easy to just go ahead and I think really any format that I wanted on a page I was able to pretty much do. I like a lot of the interactions that are there. I loved actually there was a couple of examples of work that you guys Inspire Group sent out in the last week that were free modules, and I loved the visuals on them. They look fantastic. So it inspired me, pardon the pun. Hang on.
Use that as a soundbite.
I can't talk too much on the show. No.
Oh, I tell you, this is why I'm limited. She's the speaker, I'm the doer. So yeah, so it had me going into Chameleon and go, oh yeah, that's how they did that. That's cool. Or this is a new part of it. So yeah, love it. So I'm going to put the link below, guys, so you can go and you can check out Chameleon Creator and the genius behind it, Todd.
And team opinions as well, I'm sure. But it's a cool tool, because if you think about any of the like responsive tools, they seem a bit rigid and you can kind of see where their frame of each of the blocks and stuff is. But what I like about yours is it looks a bit more fluid, and you don't really know where things stop and start. It kind of just, yeah, I like that word, fluid. There you go.
Yeah,
There's your tagline, mate.
I'll steal that as well. But no, like, I think, you know, we come digital experiences, these big booming tech companies like Pinterest and Facebook, and so, you know, if all of those big companies can do something like that so simply, why can't we kind of borrow from them like an artist and bring that into the learning world? So yeah, that was a lot of the sort of, I guess, DNA behind why we built our own framework. But
nice work.
Yeah,
very cool, very cool.
Thanks, appreciate it.
All right, I'll take you through.
Do you want to go through the brief? Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's do that.
All right, Todd and viewers at home. This is David. David's a cool dude. He basically is the CEO of a not-for-profit. And basically what he wants to do is he wants to help his employees with their health and well-being, because he believes if he puts his staff first, then his customers are served better. So employee experience before customer experience. He's got a budget of about $5,000. And what he wants to do is, like, he doesn't want an LMS. He doesn't want any kind of solution like that. He's looking for something outside the box to help the well-being of his team members. And he wants something that can be handed over and just implemented straight away. His staff are aged between 18 to 57, and he hasn't requested any specific tech. And the criteria that we had for these folk are, can their solution that they propose be achieved within the budget? This is based on personal experience and what you know, kind of thing, your own opinion. The look and feel, which you're a visual designer, Todd, so we'll be looking for some good tips there, because we're really starting to appreciate learning design needs good visual design. So it's all about first impressions, good use of colors, fonts, and layout, and it's easy to navigate. And then it's also around, does it solve the client's problem? So does it work in their context? Does it meet the needs of the business? And do they demonstrate that they understand the brief? So yeah, we're just trying to get them to solve the problem and think outside the traditional kind of e-learning, face-to-face learning that goes on. So, Kath, take us through who's our first contestant.
Our first one up is Amy, and she's an instructional designer and e-learning developer, and she's self-employed. And this was Amy's solution.
All right, Amy has got her two screens kind of demo prototype mock-up on the left there, and then her brief on the right-hand side. So she wants to do an interactive resource using Articulate, and it will be filed on Amazon S3 under their free tier, which allows up to 25 gig of storage. She's saying we got some categories to focus on, right? So we want to have creating a safe space. You can see these buttons there. Education and resources, and then advocacy and volunteering. They're going to have learning paths in this. So it's basically determined by the user and the journey they want to go down. So she's got like an employee, a manager, or a volunteer, and based on who they are, they can then go on their own personalized learning journey. So, Todd, what are your thoughts? Now, you might want to think of it from a layout perspective, or, you know, conscious that it's 5K, what can you do from that perspective? What's working here from Amy's solution?
Yeah, I think I'll wear two hats here, Kim, but the first one's the technical hat. I think it's great she's front-footing, you know, what it's built on, the Amazon S3. Yeah, and I mean, what an amazing brief. No LMS required, so you kind of world's your oyster. So I think that's really important. You know, she's noted that. From a layout perspective, yeah, big fan of sort of that dive in, dive out, taking you through a journey, navigation. So used what looks like stock photography. If it's not, apologies. But I think once again, you know, you're considering a 5K budget here. I think that at least sets the tone. I think, you know, she'd have to pick and choose how far she goes into that rabbit warren in regards to stock photography. But yeah, taking back to the UI, yeah, I like those three clear call to actions up front, big banner image. Yeah, pretty powerful use of gradients. So definitely got a nice sort of
good symbolism there for like the community, knowing the audience. We talked about symbolism in one of the earlier episodes, and even like the education and resources. So not knowing with this solution that you can't get everything in there, but you can curate content and people can go in and find what they need. So
yeah, and it's really difficult to do that in 2 screens. I think she's done really well at doing that. There's that nice symbolism back to the audience. Yeah, good use of gradients. Yeah, it's a tough gig doing a visual brief in 2 pages and trying to articulate that. And so yeah, kudos.
Okay, so my feedback is I like that she's got different pathways for employee managers and volunteers. I like that she's using S3 and she's using she says she's using Slack. So it looks like I would have liked to have heard a little bit more about how she's going to use Slack along with it. However, like Todd said, it's really hard to do something within such a small budget. However, there looks like there is going to be a lot of information provided through this solution for the learners. So we'll move on to the next participant. Okay, so now we have Ricardo, and Ricardo is a senior e-learning coordinator. Let's have a look at what Ricardo submitted.
Alrighty, what we've got here is an articulate 360 file that will be exported to HTML5 and hosted on their website. He wants to focus on topics such as relax, eat, mindfulness, sleep, and exercise. So he's looking at the core kind of things that he has identified as that well-being aspect. And he also wants to put forward a LinkedIn online community for that kind of community of practice knowledge exchange. And what he's proposing as well is quizzes to reinforce the key messages. And what I like in his thing at the end is he has this thing like he's assumptive that he's going to get this job with the client. So he's saying, I'm looking forward to getting your thumbs up. So I just think that's a real nice nod to going, hey, like my solution. If you have a look at the screens, like these are mock-ups. So what he's got on the left-hand side is his menu, and they're all color themed, and then they pop out and show the stuff over to the right. So this is like something that would be web hosted. What are your thoughts in terms of UI and stuff, Todd?
Yeah, I guess once again, that rainbow symbolism, really powerful here, certainly making a statement. Yeah, I'm a big fan of kind of really simple things like color coordination. You know, you click down one path and you're visually tied into that color along the way. Good use of iconography, didn't overdo it. You know, once again, he's probably used the native tools within Articulate 360 really well with the 5K budget. So, you know, bearing in mind, you'd have to be pretty efficient unless you're willing to eat that stuff. But from a budget perspective, you know, no, I think he's kind of worked to the tools really well. I'm sure you guys have touched on this in the past, but you know, you can hand those files over. They can edit it pretty easily within the native components of Articulate. But yeah, back to the visuals. Yeah, he's kind of got a nice hybrid between really powerful color in the background, that soft photography, you know, with a white washout. It's a little bit pixelated, but from my end, it's probably my internet. But yeah, I think, you know, when you're using photography like that in the background, you don't want to put big, powerful illustrations in front of it because you get quite a heavy contrast. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, like, I think done well to present information with minimal text as well. Because I think when you get into Articulate 360, it's very easy to do a text dump.
Yeah.
But I think it's a bit more action focused, like it's interactive focused and prioritizing interactivity over knowledge.
Yeah.
Kath, what are your thoughts?
Yes, I was thinking the same thing. It's at least chunked down nicely. It's just little bite-size information. It's that the learner's taken through as they move through each screen. I don't mind the layout. I like it as far as definitely bringing in the colours from the logo, and I like the quizzes as well. It'd be really interesting to see how someone could pull some of this out of, you know, whether you use some JavaScript or something like that, and it pulled out a generated email at the end with some of the things that they chose or things to reinforce, or, you know, be really interesting to see what you could do with this. I do quite like these activities that you can do in Storyline that it's just like a little game that someone can play to get information. And I think that that's the way you could look at this, as far as it's not like a full-on course. It's literally just a nice little bite size, where it's 5 minutes and you get from that. And whether I'd like to know how Ricardo was planning on supporting this as well, if it's just having this, or whether he's going to use some things, like I said, like JavaScript, to either put the data somewhere, see how people are using it. If the company's using it as a mechanism to work out where are their gaps, how can we do other things. So the sky's the limit, really, isn't it? You can do so much with Storyline, but then the budget is what really controls things. But I like certainly...
Yeah, go on. Couldn't finish.
No, I was just going to say I like that it's short and sharp and to the point, and it's not lots of overwhelming text. It seems like it would be a nice little gamified experience.
Yeah, you'd anticipate things like these topics on the left could be done in like 2 minutes or less, because I think you guys that are learning designers out there watching this, you need to be really conscious of Articulate 360 can take time to develop in, but you've also got to do the content. Now, your instructional design, what you would only be asking the client and figuring out is, does content exist and I'm just developing? Am I writing the content? How much effort's going to go into that when you think of a small budget like this? Or am I curating content? So really get clear on how long things take to do, so that you're not proposing something that you're going to be working for minus $59 per hour. Yeah. Cool. Take us on to the next one.
Sounds good. Our next submission is from the one and only Phil Mayer, who is a creative director at the e-learning laboratory.
Have you Googled his name? Because there might be many Phil Mayers out there. No, Phil Mayer of the e-learning land. Just me being awkward, don't worry.
She's very awkward.
All right, Phil's solution. We've got that hero image that we said, wham bam, like impress people first up with eye-catching imagery to take them into your solution. What Phil is proposing is an email system that's supported by the website. He wants to put out weekly activities that are emailed, or daily exercises that are emailed, and they should take no longer than 5 minutes to do. And then employees could actually mark themselves complete that they've done it. He wants to incorporate leaderboards and have also self-help referral info as part of the solution. He is saying what have I got here? Random times. Oh, at random times, employees are asked how they feel on a scale. If you flick to the next slide, you'll actually get a sample of this, where this actually helps signpost where people are at and then what information is pushed to them, which is those referral outside services. He has flagged that the budget is quite low, so he's going to use off-the-shelf components where possible. And he is looking at using XAPI to capture custom insights, which are viewed through the provided dashboard. And he's also going to address security measures to protect personal data. Well. Who would like to go first?
I can put my hand up if you like.
Go on.
Yes,
Todd.
absolutely.
Yeah, I haven't heard what you mentioned about impact pages in the past, but I think I hear you there. You know, having a really nice isometric mock-up like Phil's done here, I think makes a big difference. You know, it contextualizes it with the client. They can kind of separate the design away from the presentation. And I made a mistake in the last presentation thinking that that rainbow color was actually part of the UI. My bad. I'll take that back.
It might have been.
But I think this is a good example of separating the UI design away from that presentation, you know. So yeah, I think big green tick to Phil there. Yeah, he's certainly hoping to achieve a lot for a 5K budget with, you know, tying into things like XAPI, email notifications. So yeah, but you know, it is a non-for-profit. I'm sure most people go into those projects, you know, willing to eat a bit of margin. So, so no, but I think I like when you submit something like this, you want to throw the kitchen sink at it, don't you? So,
yeah.
So yeah.
What are your thoughts on those little cards? Like you see on the left there, they're quite like common. Hey, and we see them in apps now, especially like shopping apps. Do you like them?
I am. I think Google do it really well through their material design platform. You know, they got a big card system that they use. So yeah, I can sense a bit of Google, you know, with his color palette there as well. He's got the primaries down. Yeah, just nice flat call to actions. Yeah, I'm personally a big fan of that kind of structured card design. Yeah, it's good. It brings the call to action out really clear. And yeah, and same with the Slido. I think he's obviously looking at borrowing from you know, native components. So yeah, no, big fan.
That's cool. What Todd's referring to with the primaries is primary colors. If you're not aware, like there's the primary color wheel, secondary wheel, and what it actually does is say these colors go well together, and these are like, you know how it's like blue and green should never be seen. So if you have a look online, there's tools like Cooler and that actually come up with like KULER is one of them, but it says like these colors work well together and they should be kind of the theme for your design. So that's what Todd was referring to there. Kath, what are your thoughts on Phil's submission?
Yeah, I really like the little tasks that they have to do. It's just like nice little reminders. I always love reflective activities like the how are you feeling today, getting people to actually consider. I liked it. You know, again, it's so hard when you've got $5,000 to come up with a solution for a client. But this certainly looks the business. If I was a client and I had that handed down in front of me, you know, this is the solution we're thinking about putting in place, I'd be pretty happy. So yeah, it looks very nice and clean, and yeah, good job.
Cool.
Awesome.
Shimmy we've got the next one.
The shimmy. Here we go. We've got Angie, and she's an instructional designer at Steelcase. And this is what Angie has submitted.
All right. So what we've got here is a Facebook group. So I like how you're going to something that people already use in their world, not trying to create anything new. He wants to use videos, but a lot of this is around live streams. I think that's quite a clever use of the video tool part component of Facebook. Doesn't need to be fancy, just whip out your phone basically and take some videos, and then it's community driven as well. looking at curating content and allowing users to curate that content themselves, because obviously, you know, you can contribute when you're part of a Facebook group. And we'll focus on the basic well-being topics such as like health, exercise, sleep, diet, that sort of stuff, and include quizzes as well. So Facebook as the learning tool for this well-being initiative at lgbt.me. What are y'all thinking? Kath, I'll throw to you.
Yeah, look, for me, I again really like the idea of someone using a tool that we're familiar with and we use every day. A lot of people use Facebook, so it's not a new kind of tool. I think to be able to have a private group that has a mechanism that you can line up speakers and, you know, everyone gets notified about it. You're not having to send emails. You know, people can follow if they like certain things and not follow things. I really love that. You know, the idea that they could have people from, you know, we don't know how big LGBT.me is. However, they might be affiliated with other organizations. So to have using the live streaming function is really, really powerful. And of course, people who miss the live stream, they can go back, they can watch it when they're ready. So I think that it's something that if it was certainly introduced in an organization that I worked for, I could see me traveling on the train in the morning, checking in with it on the way home. Yeah, I think I'd find it probably a solution that would suit me better. And being able to have a mechanism where I could share links and things like that as well. So not only is Angie suggesting different things to curate the content, users are curating their own content as well. So yeah, I like that a lot.
Todd, thoughts?
You're taking all the words out of my mouth there, Kath. But yeah, I think, you know, being on this project with a 5K budget and someone says, let's create a Facebook group, I'd like to be part of that team, because you can start focusing more on kind of like a brand and you know people, you know it's going to work. It's got that community aspect to it, so it's ticking all the boxes for all of that brief. So it feels like that 5K could be spent on really cool things like like creating a brand. I know some of the past submissions, someone sort of did an Instagram version of that, and same here, you can sort of see it's touched on here. You know, once again, rainbow iconography, but you could really push that out at a really cheap rate. And yeah, just open up the doors. I'm quite new to the world of Facebook groups actually, but I've actually, I know the power of it now, because like I said, you can pick and choose when you want to go in and take out what you need. You know, the live videos are great because I backtrack, you know, a lot onto those, and I skip through it to certain key parts of it. And so I think it's a really good, powerful platform to tackle this particular brief for this particular community. Right.
I think the solution, basically your effort is into almost like a comms plan, so curating that content and thinking about how you're going to schedule stuff and create the engagement.
Absolutely. It's a whole strategy rather than trying to figure out all that peripheral stuff around how to make it technically work. You know, that's all sorted. So you can focus on more strategy, brand, and getting like a really nice positive tone of voice across, because health and well-being, a lot of people are quite tainted when they go into that subject. So you can make a really big visual impact through this medium. So
especially things like COVID. Think about how an organization that might be completely split up now, you know, and it's affecting everyone in a negative way, how having a group like this would be great for everyone to remote in and you know, kind of get involved and, you know, and focus on well-being. And you can see their unit 4, so she's obviously got a plan behind different units and things.
Nice one.
Good job. Good job, Angie.
Nice.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
This one is so much trouble. How many times has she tried to submit? Hey, how many times has she tried to submit this time? Twice?
Never before, and trouble's definitely the first word that
Oh
comes
my!
to mind as well. Amazing, yeah, she's great.
I think was it you, Kim, who said settle petal?
Right, well, let's see what the petals produced.
Let's do it.
What's her pollen?
Okay, so Emma Pawson has proposed a health and wellbeing campaign using Microsoft Analytics. Over to you, Kim Toohey.
All right, Kim Toohey here. Give us a look in our screen. We're still looking at her pretty face. Go on. Yeah. Okay. Cool. We have got basically a campaign with quick reference guides. She wants to use Microsoft Analytics, as Kat said, which allows for seeing how employee working patterns contribute to the health and well-being. There is video conferencing as an option, and this is going to enable connection across LGBT.me. You can use Outlook Calendar and an automated email digest system. And basically it has an inbuilt well-being option. Didn't expand on that, but intriguing all the same. And also she wants to promote leadership endorsement. And what she's saying is, let's get a leader on video or potentially do an animation that kind of communicates their care factor about the health and well-being of their employees to drive and kick off this campaign. And quick reference guides. Well, Todd, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, like if can I go back to the first page again if possible, Kim? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, tip of the hat to Emma there on making an impact from a visual perspective. You know, we mentioned that before, and you know, mocking up on a simple iPad like she's done, it makes a big difference to me personally. I think, I don't know, I've seen a lot of visual design portfolios, and just elevating that UI into a mock-up, it's makes a big difference. So
the black is great here, I have to say, like, and that texture, it's really stands out.
Yeah, she's gone for more of the dark theme, which is here in the works, which I like, because and I don't know who.
Going from the dark side to the lightsabers.
Yeah,
it is chewy.
Oh, nice. That's brilliant. Who did that?
Kat's a bit of a fanatic. She's got sticky fingers on the sound effect.
I thought she was doing a full-on police.
Yeah, she's actually impersonating. She's got her mask on. She's the Chewy mom or whatever that woman was.
But no, I think it contrasts really well with the UI. I don't actually know too much about Microsoft Analytics, to be honest. But yeah, that dashboard's looking pretty slick, and that potentially, I'd assume that's kind of a bit of...
It's inbuilt, yeah.
Yeah. But that's, once again, going back to that 5K budget, you got to work with the tools in front of you. So yeah, that dark presentation mixed with that light UI, yeah, nice work. And it looks like she, and it's a little bit pixelated here, but she's used the primaries again. Yeah, she's calling out parts of the UI, really explaining to the audience the intricacies around what this dashboard will provide. I think that's really important, because a lot of people, when they see a dashboard, it can be quite overwhelming. So if you call out certain aspects of that, like she's done, it just really helps clarify it for the stakeholders involved. So yeah, big fan.
Well, I've had a look.
Go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say, oh no, my apologies. I was going to say, I've just looked up Microsoft Workplace Analytics, and it said it uses data from everyday work in Office 365 to identify collaborative patterns that impact productivity, workforce effectiveness, and employee engagement. Help your customers speed transformation using new insights about the way their people and teams work. So I hadn't heard of it either, but I certainly love the idea of a dashboard that people can go to, and that's the focus on there. Presumably you could put any kind of widget up there.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think one thing to be careful of, people, is not assuming that they have, although this might be a common, Office 365 might be common for clients, don't assume that they have it, because that could be a very costly investment or not meet their needs. And one of the things that I do really like that Emma's put in here is, I love at the moment when things overlap borders. So you can see here some of the images are breaking through the dark into the light. And I just love when you can add depth to a screen. And I think you've done that quite well, Emma.
Yeah, and I'm also a massive fan of, I think it's called Fluent, the Microsoft design system. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. It's, yeah, pretty polished design system. So, you know, if you're going to leverage off parts of that from a dashboard perspective, yeah, I'm all in. Yeah, big fan.
Cool.
Yeah, I think this looks beautiful. Well done, Emma.
Dun, dun, dun.
Good job. Oh, here's another one. Another Aussie who's a troublemaker, Amanda Nguyen, who is a learning solutions lead at Lend-Lease. Let's take a look at what Amanda has submitted for us.
All right, I reckon Todd's going to be frothing at this example. So he, oh no, Amanda's got basically a jam session kit, and her slogan is making health and well-being conversations fun and engaging. So it's topic focused. It's basically an interactive presentation. It uses Mentimeter, Mentimetre. And this is basically a interactive presentation web app builder. It's about $25 per month. She's got a checklist for the host or the facilitator, where they have help before, during, and after this session jam or jam session, and peanut butter and jam. There's also a pack for participants where they've got curated resources based on the topic that they go to. It's all about making conversations meaningful. So I'm kind of getting the picture that this is like it's either virtually facilitated or it's a face-to-face thing. It looks at real-time employee data input, and it can collect polls and opinions. It's customizable through Google Slides or PowerPoint, and it really allows for open discussion. And it is scalable and versatile because you can do it, oh, there you go, remote in person, and you can do it for small, like couple teams or big teams as well. So let's go to the look and feel, first impressions. Todd, what would you like to say?
Oh, there's a lot to say, actually. I first of all like the tone. You know, I always speak about, you know, visual language and visual tone when you're trying to make an impact on 2 pages. You instantly get a really good feeling from the design she's chosen. It's got that nice, yeah, once again, dark UI going on. But yeah, she's kind of got that nice hybrid between a really dark background, but a subtle hand-rendered kind of paint splash on top with nice pastel colors. Actually, she's softened the color palette down a bit. I'm a big fan of sort of the slightly more pastel approach. And I think she's really considered in regards to the audience. Yeah, well, one thing we haven't talked too much about, and that's device diversity throughout the age of 18 to, I can't remember how old, but you know, you're going to get a lot of
real old 57.
Yeah. For the old battlers out there, you know, they might be stuck on desktop, where the digital natives coming through at 18, they're probably on phones. I think she's obviously considered all the different screen resolutions here. Yeah, obviously very, very playful color palette. She's gone right through the spectrum, which is good. And yeah, good presentation too. So can I go back to screen 1 again?
Absolutely.
Here we go. Yeah, so nice selection of photo. I think if it looks like a stock photo. If it's not, you know, tip of the hat to your amazing photography skills. But I think it's a well-selected image for this particular community. It's a nice foreground as well, with a sort of hand-rendered paint dots.
Yeah.
And yeah, cool header typeface. Yeah, like it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. If this was put in front of me as a client, I would really love the aesthetic. You know, it's a real art, isn't it? Choosing the right image to go. in e-learning full stop, because I think people can sometimes go way too stocky, but this just looks like it could be anywhere. We could be in, where are you in New Zealand, Todd?
I'm actually in Melbourne, but I'm from Wellington.
In Melbourne. Well, it could be anywhere in Melbourne. Any kind of coffee shop or any kind of office space. So I thought the images he chose were great. You've got people relaxing. This gives me a good vibe. It makes me actually feel relaxed. And I love the solution. Haven't done much in Mentimeter before, but it certainly looks like a kind of resource that I would look at putting into a Google slide. I love it's got reactions, so obviously you can see here reactions, and you've got, I'm not sure if these little the bumps here are indicating where a lot of people are choosing. Yeah, so it's kind of giving you automatic feedback. Love that kind of thing. So, looks really good to me.
Nice work, Amanda.
Okay, so now we've got Patrick, who is a training specialist at Clark's America, and unfortunately,
did not submit sound.
That's the did not submit. You're out, Patrick. I'm sorry. And we did get an email from Monica apologizing sincerely. She did not submit either. However, we appreciate you letting us know, Monica. Thank you very much. Now, voting time, Kim.
All right, folks. 2 votes in this exciting round. Brief 2. Things got next level, as you can tell, but YouTube has decided to discontinue the poll, so we have a new approach for voting. Link in the description, folks. You will be taken to a Google form where you actually have to, this time it's not who you like, it's basically based on the criteria, and you have to go, yep, I think they did do it in budget, or I disagree, it's not, you're not sure. Also about the look and feel, you're going to have to say that you agree with it, you don't agree, how are they doing in terms of look and feel, and then also from a learning design perspective as well, you need to think about what you do, how they've met the brief and all that kind of stuff. So you get to rate every single person, and then we will have a big tally of scores, and that's how people will be knocked out. So the people, that didn't meet the brief and all that, or did something too ambitious within the budget.
And I've got the link through to the Miller note up here, so you can go and you can check out all the briefs if you want. Yeah. Well, so there you go. What do you think, Todd?
Yeah.
So, do you want me to judge now, or is it just a
one? Just give us your reaction. We don't have fun. Did you have fun? That's the main thing.
I did.
Were you impressed?
I can't say I've ever sat down and judged learning design like that before. So feel free to judge my judging. But I think I can definitely see there's a nice change of direction in regards to visual design and learning. And I think I'm unabashedly lenient towards really impactful visual learning. I think it's just something I've only been on the receiving end of really good learning design and really bad, but the stuff that I remember is usually really minimalist, really visual and to the point, without sort of no fluff. So most of those, they hit the nail on the head there. So it's pretty cool, and thanks for having me too. Appreciate it.
Oh, our pleasure. Thank you so much for being involved. Appreciate you taking the time, give you a perspective.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Massive love to everyone that submitted. Well done getting it in. Appreciate you taking the time to participate. You're adding so much value. The things that you present is giving so much inspiration out in the industry. These shows, they get just adding so much value. So thank you everyone for being part of the journey. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being part of the show. We're really excited. Check out the Learning Conference. online. Epic event coming your way, very practical. You get to create stuff, you get to see end-to-end solutions, you get to chat with industry cool kids that are doing great things and get contextualized learning for you. That's all I got to say. I'll give you the final word, Kath.
Okay, everyone. Bye for now. See you next time.